Right guys, so first wash time. I'm not going to do anything crazy, anything stupid, just the whole purpose of this wash, again, this is my takeover wash. I want to see what condition the paint's in, the wheels are in, then we can assess what we can do with further steps. I may obviously try and get a detail and brush into some of these parts just to make it look half presentable. But again, I just want to see what parts need repairing and what parts don't. So excuse the wind again, it's quite windy. I'm going to try and catch this process in two different kind of cameras and we'll see how we go. So the first wash, by the looks of it, in the arch for many years. So we can also use this as a bit of an update video, as always. So look at these press holes. We've been in negotiation with Germany for about, I don't know, 9 months now. And finally today, so today's Monday, oh look at the tires flashing up. So today's Monday, obviously your wheels, and we've had an official offer from them. They're very happy with what we're offering them, we're happy with what they're offering us, and it's a match made in heaven. Again, I talked about this in some of my previous videos last year now as well. But like always, the Germans take their time in kind of pondering things, but it's fine. It gave us time to kind of do a bit more research. But these bad boys are coming soon into the UK. Again, there are already kind of people who sell them. Again, because they are such a big kind of brand who do agriculture, it's not surprising that they're kind of already being sold in the UK. There are some kind of big resellers, but they're kind of a jack of all trades, if you know what I mean. And they'll do agricultural stuff, bottles, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do, as always, I'm going to try and hit the wheels twice, get all the embedded stuff out, and then we'll see where we're left with that. Now this will be a good test for the wheels kind of cleaning system. We'll see. The wheels weren't particularly dirty, you know, if you get a daily driver, that sort of dirt. But the problem is, imagine you get, say, 100 miles of driving into a car. Obviously you'll generate brake dust, and then you put it away in the garage for up to 5 years. Now that's not criminal. Well, it's criminal, but still, it's not like you've done 100,000 miles and not washed the wheels. So the whole concept behind this, you'd think that the brake dust is gonna then for 5 years sit, and because brake dust is extremely corrosive, given time to actually sit on painted wheels and stuff, it could be extremely dangerous. So this is where we're going to see now the true power. Is it going to remove everything? And if it doesn't, again, it's fine, because if the wheels are kind of all jacked up and they're corroded, then nothing will take it off. I'm literally going to hit the wheels once. The wheels are getting removed tomorrow, so I'm not too bothered. But look at that. So yeah, I've seen a lot of corrosion. I mean, this is off the first hit, but like expected, it's always in the corner. So can you see these little kind of indents into the wheel? That's where people obviously find it the hardest to clean now. Right, so as I was saying about press hole, just look at them. Fantastic quality. So it's a double action trigger. So I'll give you an example, look. Spray in, spray out, in, out, in, out. So it's a double action where it sprays in all levels. And as I said, we've been speaking to Germany as of last year now. And we just wanted to do the right deal. I ain't going to no reseller in the UK and buying bottles. I want to go direct to the source. I want to deal with the management, which is exactly what we did. And again, it was just backwards and forwards because, again, as another company in the UK, they're actually quite careful who they take on. Well, I'm hoping to do anyway. But yeah, we received our offer. We're going to be taking it in three styles. So we're going to be doing it in, this is called the household. This is a lovely design, by the way. So the triggers will be all the same. So the household, and then we're going to be doing the industrial, which is a slightly different bottle design. And we're going to be doing that in the 750s and the 1,000 litres. And this is going to be, so this is the 500 milliliter, and we're going to be doing the 750 in this. And basically, what we're going to do as well, we've got the stock triggers, which are just fantastic. And then we're going to do one with a weighted bottom as well, which are quite expensive, but they're also amazing. So yeah, that's going to be the plan with kind of Pressol, and we should, so email today, they said it's going to take about 4 weeks for the manufacturing because we're buying a bloody ton of them. So we have to wait. So 4 weeks, and then plus shipping from Germany, however long that takes, obviously due to COVID and stuff like that. By the way, I found out why my pressure washer's pulsing. It's not the pressure washer, it's the hose. I'm losing like a mil here and there, like the water just drips every so often. So obviously that's kind of throwing the pressure washer. So new hose is incoming for that as well. So I'm super, super excited about the Pressols. They are probably the best bottle you can get. Again, a lot of people are going to say IK. I'm not a fan of the IK, if I'm totally honest with you. And I'm going to be doing a comparison video. So I've got an IK sprayer in here. Well, it's not a spray, it's obviously like a spray bottle. So I've got one of them in here, and obviously I've got a ton of Pressols that we've been in testing for a while. So I'm just going to use one of these, and I'm going to show you the key differences and the fit and finish as well. They're just going to look absolutely stunning on a shelf. Well, yeah, there's something about this car that just makes me happy. Yes, I haven't owned it for that long, but I reckon this is going to be a cool little car. It's small, it's compact, I look ridiculous in it. What more can you want? It gets a surprising amount of attention, you know, like people look at it and go, oh my God, is that a GTI? And I just, again, I'm not into old cars as much as other people, so I don't know what kind of view this car has in the car community. You know, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I just think it just looks quite cool. As I said, I've got every intention of keeping this. Keeping it, having some fun with it, modifying it. Who knows what the future will hold with this car. And I will not be revealing exactly what I mean by that comment. You know, the business can move into a slightly different direction as well, potentially. Or not a different direction, a slight add-on. You never know. But yeah, the wheels are super trashed, as expected. But then again, I might just keep these through winter and then assess the situation. I say that every time, you know, keep it through winter. It's gonna come into September and I'll end up having a new set of wheels. But still, I'll probably, with the Michelins that are being put on the car tomorrow, I'll definitely always keep them on this car. So, you know, like a winter set. I'll break them in the summer, obviously. I'll drive around in them for at least a month. That'll allow kind of all the tyre oils and stuff to be removed and bed in with the treads. And if I end up keeping them for winter, great. If not, then obviously a new set of wheels with a new set of tyres. Who knows? But you know what? this is how crazy this is. So we went up in the GLC. Obviously, it's the bigger, more comfortable vehicle out the other two cars. And on the way back, me and Kelly had an argument as to who's driving this thing back. Crazy. Of course, she won. So I was slumming it in the Merc. But yeah, she really wanted to drive this back. Obviously, as I said in the previous video, it was like torrential rain. But yeah, it was an experience. I've noticed I'm holding my bottles, I don't get them wet. Wet bottles are not good. As always, the front wheels are the worst. Even if it comes to a case of having the wheels redone, and we will probably have to do that anyway. Fresh start and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, there's some serious damage on this wheel. Jesus. So the plan for this car, and then we'll probably discuss this further as I'm watching it as well. So tomorrow is Tuesday. We will be having new tyres and a comprehensive service. And also while I'm there, I'm going to pawn my good friend Callum a few pound notes. And I'm going to ask him to, again, as I said already, look over anything. Now, depending what gets found and what can potentially be done to it, so you know, if like the auxiliary belt's gone or is about to go, because I am aware at 40,000 and I'm about 50 mile off this, at around 40,000 is when some things need replacing. So tomorrow we will see, and then depending on that, we will start thinking about the modifications. So obviously wheels, I'm not doing any suspension work if I'm honest. I might do actually, it all depends, you know, because I don't want the car to be undrivable. That's the main thing. This has to be a drivable car still. So I don't want it to get it to a point where the car is, you know, you can't get over speed bumps, so I can't get it on a ramp. Again, I already thought maybe add new head units or headlight units, either completely factory fresh or slightly like OEM plus. Maybe interior, I don't know. It all depends on the service tomorrow and see how many gremlins this car has. All right, so off camera, I've just rinsed all the arches, give them a quick agitation. Like I said, this is just a takeover detail. I want to see kind of where the outside paintwork's like. Again, I've checked the door jambs. Door jambs seem to be good. So again, this is of the last foaming session. I've got just under 500 mil left in here. So what I was going to do, if this was an empty cannon, I was going to put in a slightly stronger dilution ratio. Obviously, always shake it. As I was saying, I was going to do a slightly stronger dilution ratio, so I'm going to go off as if there's 100 mil in here, and I'm just going to add another 100 mil. So my thinking is, there we go. My thinking is I want to just put a bit more heavy cleaning product down, so to kind of act as a strip wash. Believe it or not, if you mix this wrong, you will start to inhibit kind of protective elements. Judging by obviously the rain a couple of days ago, this car's got pretty much zero on. There's something on there, but nothing major, so this should take it off completely. I'm not going to clay it. I've decided actually, I'm not going to do a touchless iron fallout remover. That is going to be for the other decon wash, so the proper decon wash where we strip it, stuff like that. The one thing that I will do is I will double foam it with this. So normally, as you know, I'll do the first foam with the foam and the second foam with the wash. In this case, I'm going to do a double foam with this, and I'll probably obviously get 2 cars out of this kind of reservoir. I'm going to top it up with water. And that is just, again, to let some more of the heavier cleaning product sit. And on the secondary foam, I'm going to then take some citrus and do the plastics and the rubbers and stuff like that, because they'll probably require a couple of hits over the month, and then they should be ready to be kind of nourished and moisturized. So with all that being said, let's go fill this bad boy up and let's go and wash the car. So again, I'm going to try and focus as much as I can, because like I've already showed you on the introduction video to this car, that in these jams there's obviously dirt and grit, but also white, what looks like chalky polish residue. So obviously the citrus treatment with the foam of the top should handle that, not a problem. But still, I'm going to focus and try and blast out all the loose stuff so all the product can actually embed and kind of work inside the more dirtier things. It's nice and slow. Let the pressure do the work. Yeah, I can see some black bits falling out the door jambs. Exactly what you want to see. Again, the PSI rating is not that high because look, I can get my hand in front of it, so that's why I'm pretty much bringing it quite close to the paintwork, because I'm not actually pumping out that much pressure. I am so excited to actually get this car up to our spec. I think it's going to look wicked. I've never owned a red car, so I reckon when we obviously start giving it our wax treatment, it's going to really pop. So watch this, guys. I've got citrus in my little pump sprayer, 10-to-1, and look at all the black stuff. But look, I'll even put a bit more pressure on there. It's literally killing everything. It's degreasing the plastics on contact. So again, I'm just trying to get the Citrus on literally everywhere. By the way, I'm just testing pump sprays. I'm not really a big fan of them, but if I'm gonna, there, look at that. If I'm gonna test it, I might as well just do it on this car. But in the fuel cap, degrease everything. I'm probably overusing it. In fact, I know I am. But I just want it to run into every orifice. So again, we are good to go. I hope it doesn't bloody rain now. It was hot all day. So I've doused the whole car, literally top down to the bottom in the pump spray, as you've seen, and that's had what, probably 60 seconds of dwell times. And then obviously we're going to now use a slightly stronger mix of foam as well, and that's just to extend the dwell time of the citrus and obviously do its own job of cleaning, rinse off, and we'll do this again and then go around with a detailing brush. Is there anything better than seeing an old car foamed up to the max? Nothing. Sorted, so now it's sorted. So there, look, I've got bang on half a cannon, so we're going to leave that. I'm going to let it do its business. I'm going to rinse it again off camera, and then I'm going to come back around with this with a nice detailing brush. Again, doing a detailing brush treatment now, because the car's covered in foam, doesn't mean the car's clean. You're literally pushing the rock and stuff inside it. It really depends, because sometimes I like to wash the car first and then go around afterwards, so the car's then 100% clean and just agitate it. But in this case, because I know this car's got a lot of moss and stuff like that, I wouldn't want to push potential like heavy contaminants back into a clean panel. So the car's going to be about 90% done after this and the citrus treatment. And I think, you know, obviously it's my judgment call, but it's safe enough because again, the car, I know the car's got already kind of swirls and scratches, so I'm not really too worried about that. But then after paint corrections and stuff like this, this is where I would probably do it as a last step. The usual process. It did pull, the citrus and the foam did pull a lot of junk off the car. So I'm going to be using one of my old development mitts for this wash. I don't want to get one of my fancy ones super dirty, because I was pulling all sorts, rock and everything from the jam. So just a nice thorough wash. Again, the foam is going to be acting now as the extra cleaner. Oh, look at that hang. So yeah, it's going to be acting as the extra cleaner. I've got the shampoo, obviously, the YumWash in the bucket to give me that lubrication. Let me just check. Yeah, it's pulling black things. I was actually considering not doing a secondary foam. I was playing it all by ear, because I thought, well, I don't want to feel that extra slickness on this step, because I want to kind of feel what sort of contaminants are potentially in the paint. But then I thought, after pulling the amount of stuff that I did pull from the rinse step of the foam, I thought, no, I definitely want the slickness. Because obviously I don't want to incur extra damage if I don't really have to. But yeah, we did pull a lot of the remaining adequate or inadequate beading off anyway. As I said, there was something on there, but nothing to actually shout home about. And once we get the wax on here, it's going to look sick. Look at her, the little ninja sneaking in. Yeah, the wax is going to make this really pop. And then obviously, because this is a completely different color spectrum, this will allow us to kind of see how light reflects, stuff like that, you know. BMW M3 E46, I think? No, E50 something it is. It's not the E46 one, it's the newer one. It sounds nice. Ooh, look at this. Yeah, that's rag. I'm going to show you in a second. Look at that. Ooh, that's off the window wipers. But then again, look at that. Secondary bucket again, there's just a tad left, just a bit, but that's embedded. But look at that. The beauty of the two bucket system. So another beautiful thing about this car, itching hair with soap in your hands, yeah, is, like I've always said, we're not your typical retailer. I wouldn't even call us retailers. Yes, we do sell product, we sell accessories, but the major factor for me is I want to document the life of the brand, obviously the progression of the brand. A lot of people, you know, are curious to actually see it. And this is the beauty, I think, of what we're doing, because a lot of people will, especially resellers, they haven't got the capacity to use their brains, but a lot of the resellers will take, you know, kind of stock imagery and just regurgitate it. It's like, it could be with us the same thing. We can just take your basic white background shots, which again we do have on the website, but that's just to keep the uniformity of the profile picture. The profile picture is always the same, bar the different product. obviously like Yum Wash, Yum Wax, all that sort of stuff. But if you look at the other pictures, for example, you know, they're like in steps and in progressive steps. So, and this is the thing I'm trying to say is, with this car, we're going to document. So eventually I'm hoping on the YouTube algorithm, when you type in VW Lupo UK or whatever detailing, we're going to be fairly prominent in the search. And this is to document for not just us, I'm thinking of the future generations. I sound like an old man here. But yeah, it is. It's to document everything, the modifications, the cleaning, obviously this, the first wash. I mean, this car's going to have 100 million washes in its life. And I think that's the exciting part about this car. You can do so much to it, and in the process, you're going to capture a lot of fantastic kind of footage. And with footage comes knowledge, and with knowledge comes more footage, and it just keeps going. I think my YouTube strategy, apart from, it's quite rare to be fair, because a lot of people will, I mean, I do try and do this as well, you know, SEO the hell out of the videos and learn the hashtags and stuff like that. I'm learning it because it's interesting to me. But a lot of people do like the gimmicky videos for like the clickbait. I mean, just have a look across YouTube, it's rife with it. And I did actually, I'm not gonna lie, I tried it myself once, and I thought, you know what, this isn't me, this isn't the brand. But I had to try something once and actually find out that it's not me. So with this car, again, long format content, more product kind of testing on this, again, is going to be super exciting. And just educate the people, you know, all the VW people. So the future 17-year-olds are going to look at this, and they're going to look at it now, and they're going to hopefully learn off me. Well, not learn, but, you know, aspire for this car and all this. Again, it's not a £1 million car, but still, I think it'll be cool. So, super cool. Now, the car's wet. There's a little bit of contamination, but not as much as I expected there to be. Now there's, obviously this is the perfect time. Oh, there's a big blob there. But that could just be an embedded fly. But you know what I did see on the roof when I was doing the first rinse? There's white dots. Now I don't know what that is. I'll be curious to have a look now. Is it a polishing job? Is it a spray job? You don't know until you look at it. Yeah, look, the black's constantly pulling it, so I might have to just go back around with the citrus. Can you see that? I've just wiped that off. More plastic. Final and most important rinse. I'm going to take my time with this. Get all the soap residue off. Yeah, I've killed all the protection on the paint. It's flat as a pancake. Now what I might do is I might use a development product which is coming towards the latter stages. I'm not sure yet. Just as a drying aid, you know, because again, as I said, the car's going to get a full decon anyway. So just to put something on, just to add some gloss. A bit of water behavior as well. As you can see, the paint's completely flat, which is what you want to see. Trying to pool. What I'm doing here is a very good technique. Look, I'm holding it fairly far back, so the water is going down. See, it's sheeting down. For all cars, I've got drain holes. Now, I know you probably can't see this, but somewhere in the arch there's a drain hole. and all the foam is running out of there. So it's an effective technique just to flush everything, which you can't see. Every car will have this drain hole somewhere near the front and in the back as well. Get all the grills flushed out, all the lights. Obviously, because a pressure washer, even though a Krenzler's got a fantastic flow rate at around 10 liters a minute, but still, it's nothing what a hose can do. Obviously, that's why the pressure washers are so efficient. The hose will do hundreds of liters a minute in water flow. So this is why sometimes I just like to hold it further back and just put some pressurized water into the gap to get as much water flow in there and flush them. So I've put a development sealant on. As you can see, it's beading now. I just wanted to put some simple protection on to kind of aid in the drying process, get us through the service tomorrow, and kind of obviously add gloss, see how it does on an unprepped panel. Again, it's going to be interesting. It's been like a monster though, and also just to get us through the next couple of weeks up until we decide what we want to do with this thing. So I'm just going to blow dry now, quickly. About 95% dry. It's wicked, this blower. It's just so my towels don't get overly saturated. So, final step, guys. 2 of my beautiful monster waffle weave drying towels. Now, if you're ever wondering how the detail sprays acts like a drying aid, you're going to see it. Obviously, you can put it directly into the paint like this, but sometimes I just like doing that. Obviously, one towel is literally picking up the remainder of the water, whether the car is fully wet, fully dry, part dry like it is now, and then you just take the other towel and you just remove if there's any kind of residue. It's literally that simple. In the process, you're adding a bit of slickness to it as well, and you're in business. Look at that. So I hope the service tomorrow is good. I mean, I expect it to be nothing but good, judging by the guy we picked the car up from, and he's only serviced it in April. But again, it's my tradition with cars. Any car, bar if it's a brand spanking new car, I will immediately, at the first available opportunity, service it. In this case, I was very lucky because the guys know who I am, and they got me in. Well, in fact, I was meant to be in today, which is Monday, but they recommended I go and see this. Well, wait for Callum to come off his leave, which works at that place, which is nice of him, because he is apparently the Lupo or the resident Lupo expert. So we'll see what he comes up with it. Yeah, there's a bit of staining on the car. I'm just starting to see it. And that's probably the stuff I saw when I was rinsing it, which is a shame. So it'll probably need like a finish polish just to remove any gunk. So yeah, I'm hoping the service goes well, like I said. And then we can proceed. Obviously, I think it's doing the car very well being driven every day now. Oh, I forgot to mention, so when we went, so mind you, it was a 3-hour, 40-minute drive to Blythe. And obviously we got the tank of fuel in the GLC as well, by the way, on the way up. And we took it for a test drive 2 minutes into it, engine management light, Bosch, and I was like, oh no, because again, I had my insurance all set up for this. I had every intention of actually walking away with the car. But then what was weird, and I've never seen this, please let me know in the comments if you've ever experienced this, is within about 15 seconds the engine management light went off. Now engine management lights don't go on and off like that. So anyway, we go back. Obviously the guy was distraught. Now his son, who was about half an hour away, again had one of these cars. Obviously he didn't have it anymore, but he still had all the software readers and all this. So we drove another half an hour north in this, so it was an extended test drive. It actually worked out perfectly. Again, the engine management light did not come on again, and he scanned it, and again there was no faults, but this scanner showed which was the previous fault within the last 28 days. Obviously this was the only one. And apparently it came up as a cylinder, is it cylinder 5 misfire? So it sounds worse than it is, but we came to a conclusion, because it never came back on, that because the car had only done 129 miles in 5 years, God knows how many miles in 2021, probably 3, that the spark plug or whatever actually had a bit of a hiccup and failed itself and then kick-started itself, because obviously it wasn't used to be driven for distance or speed. So again, we took this car on a massive leap of faith. Luckily, again on the way back, another whatever it was, 190, 200 miles back, nothing happened. God then opened up the Atlantic Ocean on us on the M1. Nothing leaked. So it was solid, pure solid. So still, it was a bit of a unnerving experience having a check light come up on you, especially when you kind of have every intention of buying the car, but then would anybody ever buy a £7,000 car with a check engine light on? Probably not. So obviously, him being a nice man, he said I wouldn't let you actually walk away with the car without it being fixed. So yeah. Now I know the camera's not picking this up, but you know, on that side I'm going to try and do a pan walk round. Oh, the red's popping now. Not like it will pop in a little bit in the future, but it's popping. So it just looks like, you know, that rich colour. I'm way too excited. But yeah, let me know if there's any VW boys in here who either appreciate one of these cars or had one of these cars. Please, comment down below. I'm curious. Let's build a community again around this car, as we are doing around all the other cars. Be curious. This is a very interesting social experiment. I will touch on this obviously in a little bit more detail in the podcast. But I'm playing a game with this car, seeing what happens with it. Because again, the only way you can really find out is by trying it. If it doesn't work, you know it doesn't work. But rather than listen to people's opinions, and trust me, and there's a lot of them about opinions, I thought, why not? But hopefully it'll pay off. Maybe it's an investment. I definitely know I won't lose money in this car. So even if in a year or two time, whatever I've got cooked up in my head doesn't work, sell it. But as a runaround, this is mint. And of course we're gonna look after it like we do our more expensive cars. So I don't see why this car can't get up into the 6-figure category of mileage. Why not? Just as a test pilot, oh dear. So this is 78 microns and the bonnet's 156, so yeah, interesting. 139, interesting. Let me do another test reading on this. 59, so I'm gonna have to investigate this properly, but I'm gonna wrap the video up first. Right guys, so first wash complete. I just wanted to have a look just to make sure there's no rust, any proper gremlins, you know, 20-year-old car gremlins type of thing. So, well, whatever it is, 17-year gremlins. So it looks good. Obviously there's a bit of etching here, there's a bit of staining. Again, nothing that's not going to be removed via a very light polish. Some areas will probably need a compound, but it is what it is. I'm not bothered. So, but just look at that. I'm going to walk around with this camera now and I'm going to kind of show you, but it feels super slick, even though obviously the car's not cleared or decon or anything like that. But apart from that, guys, hope you've kind of enjoyed some of the updates, some of the upcoming things for the car, obviously new bottles, the press holes. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a look at this, guys. This is the final effect of it washed. It looks, you know, deep red's coming out. Haven't dressed the tires because they're getting taken off, but look, they were yellow, now they're not. But again, I'm just gonna drive this home now, park it up. First thing in the morning is going into the garage, but it looks quite beautiful actually. Look at that. Just look at the bonnet. Woo. Wow. Just a simple wash, a bit of detail spray has knocked this out. Imagine what this is going to happen with, you know, a little bit of work and a nice coat of wax. This car is just gonna get waxed. Beautiful. Anyway guys, once again, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.